Hey, how's it going? Today we're going to try to fix my Mimaki printer. Midway in the print, well, not even midway, I'd say 5 minutes into the print, I lost one of my heads. The cyan head stopped working. So let's see what we got. We're working on a JV33-130 Mimaki. So you can see here, this is the test that I did when I first started, and it was perfect. And the print was going well, and then you could see it fade right there. And I just happened to walk in and notice that the colors got light. So then what I did another test print, and you see this cyan is no longer even showing up. So I did a cleaning, still nothing. Did another cleaning, nothing. Now I just did a ink fill up, so let's see if that. Alright, so I did an ink fill up and I still got nothing. So now I'm gonna go function. We're gonna get the head to go all the way to the left. Now there's a couple things we're gonna look at. I'm gonna try to swap out one of the print, the lines with another one and see if that ink now prints on a different color, and if it does, then I know it is probably the line. Not basically what I need to do is determine if it's the head that's the problem or if it's the line. It could be the damper, so that's what we're gonna check next. Alright, so I have to take this cover off, so we're gonna remove these two right here. Alright, so I got the cover off. Now, this cyan, this is my problem. It's not, there's no ink coming through. So, there's a couple things it could be. A quick thing that we're going to try is I'm going to take this and swap it to this side, and if I get cyan in on the print, then I know it has nothing to do with the line or the damper, and this magenta will go over here. If the magenta prints, then it definitely is something in the line. If not, I'm going to try to flush this head out. The nozzles in here could be clogged. So let's see what happens. First, we're going to have to take these off. We're going to take this bracket off. This is a little difficult with one hand, so bear with me. Alright, so I got to take these brackets off. Oh, this just popped back out, so put that back in. Put these to the side. Now we're basically just going to take this, pull this off, and we're going to switch it. I'm going to switch this cyan over here and put this in its place. Alright, so once this head comes back, I'm just going to do a quick soft cleaning, and then I'm going to do another test print and see what happens. Alright, so I swapped some things out, and I'm now doing normal cleaning. I'm going to see if I get any color coming through that cyan head, or if all the cyan now switched to the magenta, and we'll go from there. Alright, so just did a cleaning, so let's do a test print, and let's see what we got. Let me do one more because I got like a million on top of each other. Alright, so now if you look closely, you see this cyan, it's starting to take place of the blue or the magenta, and I still have nothing. So what that tells us is that there's nothing wrong with the line coming through. There's nothing wrong with the damper. There's nothing wrong with it's in the head. Because otherwise this magenta would have started showing up, and I still got 0. So the next thing we're gonna have to do is flush that head out. Okay, so we have this filled with fluid. I made sure I got all the air out because we don't want to force air in here. And I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this, but I'm going to try to record it. I'm going to leave this down here. And basically, what we're going to try to do is get the air now watch. We want that to keep coming through. I'm putting a little bit of pressure, not really hard. I have to get that thing to spray clean. Once again, you see all those are spraying. Okay. Alright, so we got it to spray. Now you're going to get some liquid. If you don't have the needle in completely in here, you're going to get some fluid that'll kind of like linger around in here. So use a Q-tip and whatever. Wipe from underneath, and you might get a couple like little spills on your material, so don't be too alarmed with that initially. Now I'm going to do an ink fill up because I have 0 ink in the head now that I completely flushed it out, and let's see where we go from there. Okay, so we're at a point now. I'm going to do a test print. After cleaning the head out, I did this a few times with the syringe. I have cyan. Now, for some reason, I lost the magenta, and I believe when I brought the line up, and I might have kinked the line, that may have caused this. So I got progression, but now I went 1 step forward and 1 step back. So now I have to deal with trying to get this cyan back. I know it's not a head issue, or the magenta, because it was fine before this. So it has to do with the line. So that's our next step. Alright, so now we have to take the back off here. So there's 1 screw here, 1 on the other side. And then you're gonna have 1 here and 1 there, and then this whole cover can come off. Okay, so we got the cover off, and you look at these. When these pull out, it opens the needle. This actually pushes in, counter levers, and allows the ink to flow in. So on the one that we're having a problem with, which is this magenta, we're going to jam let me see if I can get this. Alright, so see, this is pushed in underneath right here. I'm going to jam this in there so that it keeps it open. Okay, there you can see I have the Q-tip in place right there, so that it keeps that open to this line, which is right here. And basically I'm going to try to refill the ink. Now by squeezing this button, you see the ink coming out. Turn it upside down and try to attempt to have this fill up a little bit with some ink. Which you see now, I have some ink in there. Alright, so now I'm going to remove, because that ink is going to want to keep flowing. It's not dripping terribly, but I'm going to go and pull that out. Okay, I'm going to pull this Q-tip out. See how that moved back out? Alright, we're not going to bother putting this cover on until we get this squared away. Alright, so now just going to clean some of this excess ink off of here. And we're going to put that back in its place. Okay, like so. Alright, so I know I have some ink flow. I have the cyan is working. And now we're going to do a normal cleaning and see if we can get this magenta to come back. Alright, so I'm going to try to attempt to do a test draw after I filled up the damper. Cross your fingers. I still got nothing. Okay, so I still have nothing. I'm going to attempt to do another ink fill. If this doesn't work, I'm going to swap them out again to make sure that I don't have something wrong with that damper, or flush the head out. Alright, so I just repeated the same process with the magenta head now, flushing out the system. It's starting to make me believe that the damper may have some issues if there's any kind of little particles. And when I transferred it over to that magenta head, it then clogged the magenta head. So I'm going to see what happens right now. I did get the head to flush out through. I'm doing an ink fill right now, and I should be able to get that magenta back. And I'm going to have to monitor. If I get it all back, I'm not going to worry about it now, but the next step I would have to do is try to swap out the damper on that cyan if I start to lose that cyan again once I get it back. So let's just see what happens. Alright, so I'm going to now attempt a new test draw, and I'm praying that I have some magenta coming back. I have, it looks like a little bit, you see there, so I'm going to do another cleaning. I didn't do a cleaning, I did an ink fill. So I might do one more ink fill and then another cleaning. Okay, so after numerous attempts, I still felt as if I had air in the line for the damper on the magenta. So I had to continually stick that Q-tip in the back again and get the fluid to come all the way out, flush the head again to make sure that I have no air in the head as well. And we're going to attempt again now another test print. And look at this. We are completely back to a perfectly functional printer. I wanted to do this video because I'm just a one-man shop and I can't afford to have someone come out here and work on my machine all the time. And when I tried to find this, a video on this, I had nowhere to go. I had a buddy of mine, a good friend, that has experience in this, and he did the same process and he walked me through this. I had this issue before, not that long ago, and he walked me through this. It took me 2.5 days to get this resolved because I wasn't sure what I was doing. I hope this video helps some of you guys. I'm no technician by any means, so you may cringe at some of my methods, but it got the job done. You could see I'm back and functional, and I think I probably spent an hour, hour and a half on doing this. So now I'm going to put the cover back on, put this cover back on, and we're going to go back to trying to make some money. Thanks guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Please feel free to leave any comments or any questions you might have. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Okay, so that was the last print. I put the canvas back in, and you could see, like in the very beginning, I have my nice dark rich color, zero banding, and we got it running. There's only one issue. It's 4th of July and I'm in here fixing this. But I got it fixed, so now I can go home and have me a beer and a barbecue. Thanks guys.